Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chats, folks, for your daily live updates. Get the most out of today's episode by participating in the chat. Make sure you ask some questions, be part of the conversation, have a bit of fun, grab a coffee or a tea, take some notes, and get ready to start your day, folks. Quick few housekeeping rules, though. No spamming, no advertising or self-promotion in the chat. That's not on. Be kind and respectful to everyone when participating. And most of all, have a good time. Real estate investing can be your biggest asset. It also can be your most expensive asset when it comes to getting it right or getting it wrong, folks. It can be time-consuming, stressful, and that's why here at Positive, we have what's called a 6-star team, a full-service team that provides integrated wealth and property investing solutions and services simply designed to help you progress towards your goal of passive income through your property portfolio, folks. Make sure you check out our other podcasts on the Positive Mentor Network. Not only is there Wealth Coffee Chats, there's the Urban Property Investor. Drops every Wednesday with straight-talking investing strategies and lessons with Sam Saggers. Property Investor Tales. This is where our clients, you guys, share real-life stories from property investing, hosted by some of our advisors and strategists. And that's done every fortnight, dropping every Monday. Wealth, Wine and Wisdom, folks, that debriefs the week that was in the world of finance and property, hosted by yours truly, Jason Witten and Andy Fenton on Fridays. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Marvellous Monday. Hope you're well, folks, wherever you are. If you think it's Get Rich Quick, you're in the wrong place. This is the wrong podcast. This is the wrong life for you. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hope you're all awesome and well. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully we're up and live. Hey, good morning. Welcome to Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Just having a quick look. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Got a few online already, which is awesome. Great to see you here. Hey, there's Alex up and early at it. Alex, good to see you, mate. Morning, James. Good to see you. Morning, Sonia. Awesome to have you on, as always. Yeah, let me know if the audio is working. Yep. All right, that's great, James. Yeah, for some reason, had an update in one of my little bits of software, and I can't see the audio meter. But anyway, there you go. I can see the chat, which is awesome. I hope you guys are awesome and well. What have you done over the weekend? Had a bit of a day off yesterday. For some of you, you may have joined us at our property summit. And we had 3 days together up here in the Gold Coast, which was amazing and awesome. And we hung out and had a bit of fun playing the property game. So if that was you, if you did come along, awesome to have you with us. Had a little bit of downtime yesterday. Catch up on some sleep. Hey, Luke. Yeah, mate, it was a cracking weekend. Thanks for joining us. It was great to see you, mate, and the rest of the crew as well. It was awesome to hang out. It was fun. It was lots of fun, wasn't it? It was good to good to do it. Good to do the do. And I think we'll book another one for next year for sure. Victoria, good morning to you. Great to have you there on the weekend as well. That's I thought what we might do is we might share some lessons from the weekend and maybe have a little conversation about how we went and maybe what the winners of the property game may have taught us, because over the 3 days, Sonia, yes. No, we'll it was an interesting one, isn't it? Because, through COVID, we all learned to work a little differently, didn't we? We all learned to work a little differently and, work from home and work digital and those sorts of things. And I think certainly for me and our team, we sort of, mastered that in a certain way for certain things, to be able to get out there and, teach and share our lessons for property investors via the digital medium, like this sort of stuff, the Wealth Coffee Chats live and mentoring nights on Zoom and all of those sorts of things, which is excellent, which is awesome. But I think there's a little bit of special sauce, a little bit of something important that maybe just got forgotten, maybe lost a little. And on the weekend, we got together in person with all of you. And I, for one, had a fantastic time. So appreciate all of you who came along, and definitely in the lineup for next year. So we'll get that cracking as soon as we can. That's for sure. Morning, Stephen. Good to see you, mate. Thanks for joining us. It's good to see a few on. Now, a fair few of you said you're sometimes driving in the car. If that's you, great to have you here as well. And if you're listening to this in the replay, then fantastic to have you on the replay as well. Always. Yeah, in real life, isn't it? Like, I learned that IRL in real life from my kids just recently. Probably everyone else knew. I was just a bit slow to the party on that one, wasn't I? But listen, folks, why don't we have a bit of a conversation? I think here we go, about what some lessons were, and maybe, in the chat if you want to play along. If you went along, I know Luke was there, and Victoria and a few of you who came along as well. If you're in the chat, if you want to play along, what were the lessons from the property game? Now, we had some winners of the property game over 3 days. 3 days, we'd printed out our, a bunch of properties, 400 properties that we'd helped our clients buy, you guys buy, over the last 5 or 6 years, and we printed them out. Put the numbers and the photos and the pictures of those properties on the boards around the room, and people got to play the property game. If you weren't there, give you a bit of a visual. If you were, you know what I'm talking about. And everybody started with a amount of money to create a property portfolio. So grow from one property, basically, into multiple properties. And we did 5 rounds of the property game. Each of those rounds equaled 3 years, kind of a 3-year cycle, ending up in 15 years as an example for the property game over the 3 days. And the winners of the there you go, exactly, Victoria. Yeah. The winners of the game, all were sort of $10+ million worth of property portfolio acquired and created. But also, too, everyone in the room, 3 to 5 million was pretty normal, and 5 million and above was absolutely doable by at least 50% of the people in the room too. So, what were the lessons? Now, Victoria's sharing some lessons there, which was awesome. I think really at the end of the day, those lessons are certainly ones we need to think about. Stick to buying A-grade property, be aggressive with getting discounts, add value along the way. I love it. And that's the sort of stuff that there is a system, there is a process, there's a recipe for this stuff, team. And I've shared this many of time with on the podcast here, and with many of you, either one-on-one or in one-to-many. There is a recipe, there's a process, and if we stick with that process and we continue to keep our momentum going and have some patience, the process is a fait accompli. It's that what happens is we get in the way. Yeah, absolutely. Cole, get help from your 6-star team. Exactly. I think there's some fantastic lessons. So what were the lessons from the winners or in general, and some big lessons from you guys? And it's not, these lessons aren't inexhaustible either. And in no particular order, but the first lesson was that those who had the best portfolios had their numbers in order. Okay, in order. Got their numbers done. They had clarity of their dollars, their buying power. Now, in the game, you had to sort of work out how much you could borrow when it was all manual and on paper. And for some people, that freaked everyone out. But for those who were able to, like Victoria said here, be aggressive, get discounts, add value, Well, being aggressive, being laser focused on building your portfolio, knowing how much money you've got, how much money you can spend, how much money you need for your add value or your renovation or your extra costs, how much you could offer, negotiating better deals, all of that confidence, folks, all of that confidence comes from having your numbers done. Now, this is an interesting one for all of us. If you're sitting there at home and you're thinking, I want to get on with this property investing, or I'm a bit nervous or I'm a bit unsure, there is power and clarity and confidence in understanding your numbers and getting them done, making sure you're really clear. You have a buffer, a safety buffer in place, so you've got a maximum amount you can invest and spend in your portfolio, and those sorts of things. So the number one thing that the winners of the game said, that in one way, shape, or form, their numbers were clear. They got their numbers done, and they were very confident of what they could go and do, all right, which was good, which was great. So get your numbers done. What's the lesson? What can we take away from that? And probably dovetails into my last one, and Colla's already onto it as well. Make sure you get your numbers done. And if, in real life, in the real world, we need our team, our mortgage broking team, to help us with that one, don't we? As we go along. Get your numbers done so you're confident you know what you're doing. Number 2, A-class deals, right? A-class deals. Now, in the game, that was easy enough. You walk around the board, walk around the room, and on the board it says A, buy that one, okay? Now, A-class properties grow in value better. They have less maintenance. They have more rental growth. Add some value to those properties. You get a double whammy. Not only does the capital growth on those better, but also, the capital growth compounded with an add value, you go better. So if you can, when you invest, understand what makes an A-class property. Now, in real life, it's a little bit more difficult to work out what is an A-class property. What is an A-class property? And you know what? I think I might get Sam to do a masterclass on A-class properties compared to B-class properties. Now, Sam talks about it all the time. He talks about, is a property mission fit for the future for you? And there's plenty of thoughts in and around that. A few of them are, is it in the right location? Location's always an expensive thing to change when it comes to your property, right? Location, which is going to drive value, close to infrastructure, close to jobs, close to schools, the medical belt, the education belt, the sea belt, the sun belt, all of those things that Sam talks about in his 4X growth strategies. So what would an A-class deal look like in real life? And it's not as easy as in the game. However, in the game, A-class won. A-class grew better. A-class was a far better asset class. Now, circling back to, the numbers and getting clarity, which gives you the opportunity to do things like, your numbers, get discounts, make the right offers, and get clear on how much you can spend. All right, which is number 3 on the lessons learnt from the property game, folks. That was the winners of the property game maximized, max invested every time. Maximum invest. Now, what do I mean by max invested? Tell me in the chat, folks. What do you think? What do you think I meant by maximum investments? Max invested when it came to the property game. The property game winner ended up with $13 million worth of real estate over a 15-year period. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Look, the good old 4X growth plan seemed to work. And, Sam spent 20 years refining that as we're going along, right? Yep, that's exactly it. That's exactly it, Rebecca. Okay. Used all the equity they had available, and spent every dollar of their equity available. And this is the thing. Now, within the safety zones of what you design with your team, right? So for many of us, for all of us, let's say you have to have buffers, and you have to have personal buffers. So you go, right. So certainly with business owners, we talk about war chests to run your business. Your personal life, you and your family, we should have a personal buffer, a certain amount of money. We call it liquidity, that at any time you've got, if something goes wrong, you need to take care of your family. You've got many months. I always say 6 months as a minimum as you build that up. And then with your properties, each property should have a small property buffer. And I say $5,000 minimum per property as a buffer with your properties. And there's a few reasons why we have those buffers. You know, I've done some podcasts about this before, but, you know, a few reasons about, you know, if something goes wrong, then, you know, you need money. Even if something breaks, the insurance doesn't pay you that day. You know, you've got to have some cash to buy buy the new stove. And then the insurance pays you back. It's a pain in the ass. They're pricks like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you've got to take care of that first. And then you need a buffer and other things too as you go along. So maximum invested, the maximum amount fully invested in the market at each point, right? You know, if they could do $1 million worth of deals, they did $1 million worth of deals, not 600, not 700. Yep. And they also allowing for negative cash flow, right? That's right. Exactly, Victoria. If you have negative cash flow in your portfolio, then the equity should pay for it. And people go, oh, hang on, how does that happen? And that's a bit of an advanced technique you can sit down with your team and your coaches on. But here's the drill, folks. You should not be paying for negative cash flow if your properties are negative cash flow for the moment or for whatever reason. The equity should eventually pay for every cost, including any negative cash flow. Now, you need to be structured right to do that. And if you're not structured right, then chat to your coaching and your finance team. Maximum equity. What's the fourth one, which was it's not necessarily a fourth one. And Heather, who won the property game, and there was a fair few others up on the stage as well, all had in their mind right from the outset, I'm going to give a good crack at this and I'm going to win. They believed, they had a very good attitude, and that they would go for it, right? So a winning mindset. Now, for all of us, you know, in real life, 15 years is a long time to keep our eye on the prize, keep focused, keep going, make sure we do this. You know, how do we go the distance? How do we, check in and keep positive and, keep momenting? Well, that's number 5 really at the end of the day. And really in terms of, thinking about the whole picture, which is probably my number 5 here, takeaway, and the winner said this as well, is get some help. Go, Cole. I love it. Because we know, again, now you'll play the game differently, or you play the game better for next time, right? You're not alone. And get help from the 6-star team, okay? Especially in this game of investing. The 6-star team have been there, done that, helped hundreds, if not thousands of people achieve what you want to achieve. Come on, Kelly, let's do it. I love it. Do what you want to achieve, and it's not something that's brand new. It's not something uncharted waters, folks. This has been done hundreds, if not thousands, if not tens of thousands of times before, hundreds of thousands of times before. It leaves clues. There's evidence. There's steps along the way. And I think, I think I said it on the weekend, alone, you're responsible alone, completely 100%. You are the one responsible for your life and its outcome. But you're not alone in the responsibility. So what does that mean? You're not alone in thinking about what to do. You're not alone in getting it done. All of the people around you, the right people around you, are there to help you do it, help you achieve it. The right people. And I think at the end of the day, the team, the environment, the culture, the community was probably the big lesson, I think, for me, certainly to remind me. Hopefully it was firing you guys up too, just to reconnect with a community of like-minded people who are all traveling in a similar direction, and to feel like you're not alone, and you can get some help, and you can have some fun at the same time while you're doing it. So there you go. Big 5 lessons for the takeaway over the 2 days of the property game. And I'm sure there's plenty more. There's plenty more. That's right, Sonia. Get some help from the team, not someone who doesn't know as you go. So there you go. Oh, beautiful. Thanks, team. Appreciate the shout outs, and we'll look forward to next year. We're going to make sure we put that as a permanent lineup as part of our connection, our learning, our teaching, our momentum as a community. I think it's going to be a permanent fixture. Well, there you go. All right, folks. Well, that's it from me. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. Great to see all of you on the weekend, and thanks for joining us this morning on another Wealth Coffee Chat. As always, fantastic to have you here. Join me tomorrow. We'll do it again. What's tomorrow? Wednesday. Maybe you'll be doing it with the team tomorrow. I think it is Cass from Property Management tomorrow, teaching some lessons then. But until then, folks, you guys take care. And as always, remember, this thing's a marathon, not a sprint. Take some time. Buy well, don't sell unless it's strategically. Andy Fenton says so. There you go. All right, folks. There you go. Take care. Good to see you. Bye for now. Episode of Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss a thing when we go live. Improve your portfolio and investing game, folks, with Wealth Coffee Chats live every morning at 8:10 each weekday. Make sure you join us. Previous episodes are also available wherever you get your podcasts, folks, as well as our other podcasts from the 6-Star team here at positivementor.com.au.